The cold silence of deep space was nothing new to Admiral Vorik of the Galactic Empire's Third Fleet. For 200 years, his kind, the Zirathi, had patrolled these outer sectors with absolute authority. Their warship stretched nearly 4 kilometers long, bristling with plasma cannons and phase disruption arrays. Nothing in the known galaxy challenged them. Nothing. Vorik stood on the bridge of the Eternal Dominion, watching his sensor officer, a young Zirathi named Kresk, scan the routine patrol corridor near the human quarantine zone, the small, insignificant cluster of star systems the Empire had graciously allowed humanity to occupy. Humans had only achieved interstellar travel 60 years ago. They were infants. Primitives. Curious little creatures who built things with their hands and called it progress. Vorik almost pitied them. Almost. Admiral. Kresk's voice broke the silence. I'm reading an anomaly. Vorik didn't look up from his tactical display. Solar interference. Log it and move on. Sir. Kresk hesitated, something Zirathi officers never did. It's not interference. It's a vessel. Now Vorik looked up. A human cargo freighter wandered into restricted space again, he asked, already bored. No, Admiral. Kresk turned from his console, and his 4 eyes were wide with something Vorik hadn't seen in decades. Fear. It's a warship. Every officer on the bridge of the Eternal Dominion stopped breathing. Vorik crossed the bridge in 4 long strides and stared at the sensor feed. His mind refused to process what his eyes were showing him. The vessel emerging from the asteroid belt was enormous. 6 kilometers long. Possibly 7. Its hull was dark, not the polished ceremonial black of Empire warships, but a deep, matte, radar-absorbing darkness that seemed to swallow starlight itself. Along its flanks ran rows of weapon ports, dozens, possibly hundreds, and its bow was shaped like the head of some ancient predatory creature, angular and aggressive. It moved with terrifying confidence. No hailing signal. No identification beacon. No diplomatic flag. It simply appeared, as if it had been waiting behind those asteroids for a very specific reason. That. Vorik's voice failed him for the first time in his career. That cannot be a human warship. Sub-Commander Dreth pulled up the registry database frantically. Sir, human vessels are classified under Category 1, pre-industrial military capability. Their largest recorded warship is 400 meters. A converted cargo hauler with mounted turrets. Then explain that. Vorik snapped, pointing at the sensor screen. Nobody answered. Nobody could. The communication panel lit up. Kresk answered it with shaking hands, and the main view screen flickered to life. A human sat in the command chair of that impossible vessel. He was broad-shouldered, unhurried, with sharp blue eyes and a jaw like carved stone. His uniform was dark navy with a single golden eagle insignia on the chest. He looked at Vorik the way a man looks at a minor inconvenience. This is Captain James Randall, the human said calmly, commanding officer of the UES Independence, first vessel of humanity's 7th Deep Space Combat Fleet. You are currently positioned 11,000 kilometers inside sovereign human space. He paused. I'm going to need you to back up. The bridge erupted. Officers shouted over each other. 7th Fleet. 7th? That implied a first, a second, a third. How many of these ships existed? Vorik silenced his crew with one raised hand, his mind racing. 60 years. Humanity had been a spacefaring species for only 60 years. It had taken the Zirathi 4 centuries to build a single fleet of this class. How? Vorik asked, abandoning all Imperial protocol. The single word escaped him before he could stop it. Captain Randall smiled. It was not a warm smile. We're fast learners, he said simply. The Eternal Dominion backed up. For the first time in 2 centuries of imperial expansion, a Zirathi fleet withdrew, not from defeat, not from superior numbers, but from the quiet, immovable certainty radiating from one human captain and one ship that simply should not have existed. As the Empire's fleet repositioned beyond the boundary, Admiral Vorik stared at the UES Independence until it vanished back into the shadow of the asteroid belt. His hands, he realized, were trembling. "Get me high command," he said quietly. Kresk didn't move immediately. His eyes were still locked on the empty space where the human warship had disappeared. "Sir," Kresk whispered, "if that's only one of their fleets, what else have they been building?" Vorik had no answer. In the cold silence of deep space, the Galactic Empire, for the very first time, felt something entirely new. It felt small.